So we've discussed so far rotations that are counterclockwise or backwards, so to speak. And there's only 3 we need to worry about: 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. And each is a multiple of 90. So to do a 90-degree rotation of point A, I'm going to turn my rectangle 1 turn around the origin. So my 3x4, so my width now becomes vertical as opposed to horizontal. And when I turn a 90 degrees, I get a coordinate of 4, 3. Okay, because remember, every angle in a rectangle is 90 degrees. If I want to turn or rotate point A 180 degrees, that's going to be 2 turns. So I've already done 1. So a second turn is going to put me at 180 degrees, because 90 plus 90 is 180. And point A becomes here at -3, +4. And then, of course, a third turn, or a 270-degree rotation for point A, would be my third turn and my third rectangle, putting me here at -4, -3. So that's counterclockwise. We've discussed this before, and this is what we've concentrated on so far. Now, to turn clockwise, you will still only be turning or rotating 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. And even though I'm going clockwise as opposed to counterclockwise, 90 degrees is still 1 turn of the rectangle, 180 is 2 turns, and 270 is 3 turns. So let's start with point A again, but this time we're going to go 90 degrees clockwise. So that's going to put me right here. So this is 90 degrees. A second turn clockwise is 180. And a third turn clockwise is 270. Now take a moment to look at those. The rotation about the origin, the rectangle doesn't change size or shape. It doesn't change position. Point A is still point A, whether I turn it clockwise or counterclockwise. So the only thing that has changed is the direction I'm going in. So I want you to notice that if I turn or rotate point A clockwise, which is in red, clockwise 90 degrees, that's the same as rotating counterclockwise 270 degrees. 2 turns clockwise is still 180 degrees regardless of what direction I'm going in. And 3 turns, or 270 degrees clockwise, puts me in the same exact position as if I was rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise. So the steps haven't changed. We're still going to do the exact same rotation. The size of the figure has not changed. We're only changing the direction in which we're going in. So think about that for a second. Now, for those of you who prefer the rotation rules, let's take a look at our graph. Notice how 90 degrees counterclockwise in blue brought me to the same spot as clockwise 270 degrees. So take a look at that again. Point A, 90 degrees counterclockwise, so go in blue going backwards, put me in the same exact spot as 270 clockwise. So if I'm back to the graph initially, okay, remember your blue is your counterclockwise. So we started with point A that was in black. One turn put me in quadrant here in quadrant 1. 2 turns put me in quadrant 2. 3 turns put me in quadrant 3. Each turn is a quadrant because each quadrant's 90 degrees. And when I reverse the direction and go clockwise, each turn is 90 degrees. So 90 degrees clockwise in red is exactly the same as doing 3 turns counterclockwise. Might take some time and some practice, but if you can keep this mental image in your head, that will definitely help. And let's do a quick reminder that our counterclockwise rotation rules for 90 degrees. Remember, we do opposite y, x. 180, we do opposite x, opposite y. And for 270, I do y opposite x. Well, these rules don't change necessarily. What changes is the direction I'm going in. So if I'm rotating clockwise 90 degrees, we said that that was the same as a rotation of 270 degrees counterclockwise. So the rule for 90 degrees clockwise is the same as the rule for 270 degrees counterclockwise. Did I say that right? Let me try that again. 90 degrees counterclockwise is the same as 270 counterclockwise. So we're going to use, for the 90 degrees clockwise, I'm going to use the 270 degree rule. And for 180 degrees, regardless as to whether I'm going clockwise or counterclockwise, 180 degree rotation puts me in the exact same spot, regardless of direction. So that rule literally remains the same. For 270 degrees, we said that 90 degrees counterclockwise was the same as 270 clockwise. So a clockwise 270 rotation is going to be the same rule we use for a 90 degree rotation. Now there's a few different ways you can think of this. You can either think of it, okay, well, 90 degrees and 270 degrees, whether I'm going clockwise or counterclockwise, are going to be opposites of each other. Or you can always take any clockwise rotation, let's say 270 clockwise, if I'm at let's say point A here. a clockwise 270-degree rotation is going to put me going to the right, to the left, around the clock, 3 turns. So this would be 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns. So this is 270. Well, I can convert any clockwise rotation into a counterclockwise rotation by saying, okay, if I'm going to go backwards or counterclockwise, how many turns gets me to 270? Well, only 1 turn gets me to 270, so that lets me know that a single turn counterclockwise in blue is the same as 3 turns or a 270-degree rotation clockwise. I know this seems, for some, this might be kind of confusing, but hopefully you'll notice that the rotation rules themselves don't change. We're still, so for the difference is that if I want to do 90 degrees clockwise, then I'm going to use the rule for counterclockwise 270. And if I want to do 270 degrees clockwise, I'm going to use the rule that I use for 90 degrees. Hope this makes sense. And if not, I'll be happy to answer any questions.